Every time I put this fucking thing on, I can't get it to work. I've practiced.
I think that looks like a red light to me. Hello!
We're operating with some new equipment, and it probably sounds much the same as the old equipment.
Yeah.
But
A couple of grand later, and here we are.
aye, exactly, back where we started. So, how you doing, Stephen?
I'm good. How are you, Chris?
It's been, comparatively speaking, a long time since we've seen each other.
Yes, and we should welcome everyone back to the show, which is not a show, the podcast, which is not a podcast. There is no promise that we'll ever do this again, and there's no promise that we ever did this before.
I want to make a vow that we will never do this on camera.
Yeah.
What do you make of that?
Yes.
Seemingly, that's just what you do now.
What, do these things on camera?
Podcasts, radio stations, they're now live on YouTube 24/7.
No, let's just keep it to two voices that could not be contained within our heads.
Is that not the magic of... I don't know. I was big into the radio when I was wee. Like, I used to love listening to the radio, so I don't want to see what's going on.
No, it's just going to be disappointing.
We spend a lot of time bearing everything when we're on display with nowhere to hide.
Yep. So just let us hide this one time.
Yeah.
Please.
So we're back doing yet another podcast sort of thing, offering. At the moment, we're recording this in deepest, darkest January. There's a storm on the way, I hear.
Storm Chandra?
But it's bad. Anyway, we're here doing this.
We're indoors.
We've been around the block so many times that we've kind of, by hook or by crook, by design or accident, we've figured out it's actually not a bad idea to make January unavailable. And you were saying when I got here that was just as well, because you've been going a bit haywire these last few weeks. So
I feel like a holiday was needed, and a holiday has been achieved.
Well, good on you. So we've had a self-imposed break. I mean, you'd usually be a bit quieter at this time of the year, but we know, of course, it's busier kind of in the summertime, but there isn't really a wedding season as such, because there's weddings.
The wedding season is from February till December.
Aye, that's when we're 11 months long season. So what we're thinking for how we're going to break this ship back in to the ocean.
Champagne?
Yeah. Well, so we had we're feeling a bit more reflective, maybe less like never picking a guitar up again.
Yeah, we've had a bit of time, got a bit of distance now, so we can reflect on some of the oddities of last year.
Why not? There was a lot.
There were a lot.
There was a lot went on. We did a lot of stuff last year.
we did we played a lot of shows.
At times it felt like all I did was do that, wake up, and then come and pick you up to go and do it again.
Back in the van.
But hey, we will never complain about that.
No.
I mean, we could do. Why don't we do another day? We could do a podcast where we just have maybe like a sort of therapy session talking about all the other jobs that we've done in our lives. And genuinely, if I ever feel like I'm, maybe struggling a bit, veering towards the dark when we're playing a gig somewhere, then I do I can meditate myself out of it like really quickly.
Just imagining all the other jobs that you've done.
Yeah. Anyway, that could be for another day. So what do you mean? Like what kind of odd things transpired in 2025?
Where to start?
So, well, we pre-production behind the curtain. You know, we can recall. Like I'm sure everyone will be familiar with it who is in the game, but from our point of view, like if it's a well-established venue, a big hotel or whatever, you kind of have an idea what you're going to get. But a lot of folk will do it themselves.
The DIY wedding, what an undertaking!
So in an instance like that, well, we are kind of going into the unknown. So we had 2 or 3 of them last year,
and they were very good. It must be said.
Yeah, well,
impressive.
Of course, yeah, they all turn out great invariably. But the circumstance, compared to like going into a well-lit function room with multiple PowerPoints,
a stage,
the practicalities of DIY weddings can sometimes
be overlooked.
Be a bit of you can be thrown curveballs.
Absolutely. So
one such which we must stress from the outset, turned out absolutely great night. It was the couple. I mean, for a start, I think it took us about 4 attempts to actually get into the. We could see them.
We could see it from the main road.
Yeah.
But the route. I mean, our best guess at the time was drive through a field
and hedges. It was like being back at the garden festival. So when we eventually get in, they had yurts.
Interconnected yurts.
Yeah.
A series of yurts, a burrow of yurts.
A
space station-like web of yurts.
Yeah, there was like the master yurt.
The hub, central hub yurt.
When we turned up, that was like everyone was having their meal.
Yeah, with the bar, that's where the bar was.
And then sort of 2,
3.
Well, there was 2 like supplementary yurts also with people sitting eating, but then there was an offshoot yurt, which is where we were. I think you were led by the hand by a
family member.
Yeah,
that's right. There was the hub yurt in the centre. To the left and right there were offshoot yurts connected by canvas, where they were slightly smaller and contained people sitting eating, and then there was a third one creating a sort of T shape.
So,
where we were going to play.
Yeah, and the one that we were to set up and play in had no seating, no bar, as you said. So,
also on the smaller side.
Yeah.
So that was the first challenge. But we just tried to imagine it. We set up in one kind of third of the yurt. Left the entrance open for people to come in. Should they deliberately or accidentally make their way into that yurt, or following the sound of music.
And it worked, as we said, it worked out. A cracking night. Because another aspect that you not being unless the couple have hired in like a kind of wedding. How would you call them? Like a referee, like an event
planner,
gaffer. Yeah. Unless they've done that for when they're doing a DIY wedding, then you're also, from our point of view, there's nobody to liaise with, and you just kind of have to guess what the best thing to do is. So we just got on with that one. That turned out great.
How would you say we tackle these sort of things, these situations where there are a lot of unknowns and we just walk in and we have a space?
Well, look, Well, a good question. In the moment, I just get my head down, and I'm like try to, wherever I set my amp up and my microphone stand, it's the exact same as whether I'm on like a huge stage or in the corner of a yurt.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not going to change. That is the things that I can control. They're exactly the same wherever we go. And I don't know, like I suppose if you think back to with misty eyes, think back to when you were a young pup, maybe these things would get to you a bit, and before you know it, you've spent 10 minutes not setting your stuff up,
mm-hmm.
kind of thing. And
well, it has to be said, we've done this a few times now. We've seen a lot of stuff, and so when we walk into a gig, I feel like at least we walk in with no preconceptions. Mm-hmm. We try to be as professional as we can. Set any shred of ego we have had has gone, long gone, lost to the winds. Yeah. So we set up and we just start playing music and see what happens. And that's what we did that night.
Aye, it's probably a good top tip. Number 1, it's probably a good tip to. Well, even if you are going to, I don't want to. What would you say? Even if you're going to a huge chain hotel which does a wedding every single night, it's probably a good idea to have a similar. Don't expect mm-hmm. anything when you go there.
Don't assume anything.
Yeah. What else were we?
Well, how about we have had a few gigs where we've run into professional, and I say that with a capital P, professional compares.
Okay.
Which I should mention is great for us. We love that. That's just one less thing we have to do that's not musical.
Well, yeah, because what I bet you again, like anyone, not that we were. I was going to say like any other bands that play at weddings that are listening to this, but we are under no illusions that anyone else is listening to this, apart from a very few specific people who have sought us out. You're maybe thinking about booking us. What I was going to say was that I bet you loads of other bands that have played wedding receptions, a point of the night where you can't be in complete control of everything is the entrance of the couple, and
that's true.
It's just like it's a kind of running joke that you can try your best, but ultimately it's quite often they're just going to walk in before they're introduced and things like that. So having a professional MC, I'm like, yes, fill your boots. Yeah.
So, what would be a good example of this one? MCs, because we encountered a few.
Oh, a few last year even. But yeah, we were talking about one where, that was I think that was at Spring Kell, so an established venue, and so it was all as expected. We were setting up, and then
it was a London crowd, wasn't it?
Yeah, everybody for down south, and again we'll say from the outset, fantastic night it turned out. So, but as we were setting up, you were accosted by a sophisticated older gent.
Yeah, do you remember his name?
No.
Oh damn. Well, he had this.
For the tape, we'll call him Clive.
Clive. Well, he was a sort of older gentleman, clearly a Jack the Lad of London back in his youth.
Hey. Well, you don't know that.
I got that impression.
You do know that.
Yeah, but he was now a silver fox, so let's call him the Silver Lad.
Okay.
Silverjack. Yes, Silverjack came up to me and grilled me on who we were, what we were about to do. And
and you were like, I don't know.
No, I gently reassured him that
fuck knows.
that we'll do whatever he needs us to do. If he can take care of the entry part, hand it over to us, and we will take it away.
Aye.
And he was. I got the feeling he was kind of sizing us up a little bit to see
for a joust.
Do we know what we're doing? You know,
because he had a pure, like, I don't even know, like a Tudor. I don't know what you call it. You know, like a big fancy coat. Right?
He was looking snappy.
Yeah. So I remember at the time thinking, like, I know loads of folk who would be like a bit put out by this, you know, getting kind of grilled, as you say. But
well, I wasn't. So
no, I know you're a master politician. I just kept my head down.
That's a dirty word in my house.
Stared at the floor. But that so, you know, he went away.
He did a great job of.
Oh, of course, his
job, which was the MCing part, the introduction, the bringing them in, the cake cutting, and introducing the first dance. And when we did eventually take it off his hands, you could see that he's like, "Oh, they do know what they're doing." Great, and he just went to the bar, I think.
Yeah,
but he re-emerged from the bar.
He wanted to come up. We started playing some old rock song, and he wanted to come up and sing it. And so, like, of course, we just
said yes.
Let him do it. And I thought, I guess at the time I thought, well, that was quite an interesting, like, contrast to an hour ago when, he was basically sizing us up. And
but, again, we live to please, and we clearly impressed him, and he so much so that he could not restrain himself from coming up on stage.
He wanted to be in the band.
Yeah, he wanted to join us, which is great. And we even said, Silverjack, you're welcome back up here anytime you want. Yeah. And his wife was shaking her head at me from the back of the room. Saying, no, you'll never get him off.
Yes, aye. That is exactly right. That is exactly what happened. Yeah. Okay, again, I mean, I suppose it's just another wee example of, like, things that for sure could. I mean, you don't, like. What I'm thinking of is a polite way to say, about the ego thing. Like, if you have any ego doing this, then I kind of think you're in trouble. Like,
you're in the wrong place.
Yeah. It's not no place for ego. So we had a wedding at Kelburn, which is a fantastic sort of. It's a very simple venue, but it's like they've got all the kind of simple things right, which. Maybe we can do like a kind of Patreon where we just like diss all the venues that are not good at this, but just getting the fundamental things right or like seem to be.
The staff at Kelburn are amazing.
Yeah.
But although Cherry Crumble has its history steeped in that place.
Absolutely. Yeah. Again, another Patreon episode. No, we would never. We shouldn't. It would be. Insulting to charge anyone for this.
Well, we could talk all night about our experiences at Kelburn, but I think I know the one in particular you're steering us towards this time. Was this the half Belgian? crowd?
Yeah. Aye, there was a lot of folks from Belgium. I think off the top of my head, Dutch, and then Scottish folk as well. So an interesting mix, which is usually, it is genuinely interesting to see how folk from elsewhere kind of interact at such occasions. So we'd had prior notice of this. They said this will be a bit different to what you guys are probably used to for a wedding reception. So, like, when we got there, after they'd finished their meal, I think they did a quiz.
A game show.
Well, they did a quiz, and then, I mean, a lot of this was lost on us, obviously, because it was not in languages that we speak, but I think it was like a quiz, but then it was like sort of games, like party games.
Well, no party I've ever been to, let me tell you.
No. I mean, it was a family do. There was loads of
they were on the
kids
line.
there, but
they were on the line though, weren't
yeah,
they? The team names at the very least.
Yeah,
the team names such.
Both thematically and
they were all animal based, but I remember particularly enjoying the Smelly Beavers was one of the team names.
Yeah. So meanwhile, like, we are mere, I'm like 3 feet away from a woman, and she's like holding her dress up to her waist so she can get more leverage on the brush handle that she's got a toilet roll. What's the word? Sheathed onto, and the game was to pass it to somebody else's brush handle.
So they had to effectively, dock brush handles and pass the toilet roll over.
And as I say, like, we had been told that all this sort of stuff's going to be going on, but just you guys, like, set up regardless. So,
and we tried to.
Well, I mean, yeah, but so, like, certainly it's not your usual
not your usual setting up
thing. Aye, because like, usually, well, anybody out there that's been to a more conventional do, like, usually you get the room to yourself for setting up, so you can do what we still fancifully refer to as a sound check.
So there was multiple games played of this ilk, with the rules seemingly getting crazier and crazier. I should mention that it looked like everybody was having a rare time. They were very much enjoying it, in the competitive spirit in which it was supposed to be enjoyed. And by the time we got on, they were ready to go. That was a warmed up crowd. Yeah. That
was brilliant. But I get, again, like, with the evidently not really being able to, like, check the sound or whatever, or just going with the flow, I think, is the key in those those sorts of situations. Mm-hmm. Not that there are those sorts of situations, it's like that situation.
Yeah. And once again, I think there's a theme here. It comes back down to ego, isn't it? Or lack thereof.
Yeah.
It's essentially a game of would they be cool with, and the answer is usually yes.
Mm-hmm.
We'll, so long as we get to play.
Aye.
Yep.
It actually puts me in mind of, like, so I can remember, well, we have spent years and years on end trying to play in a band, like, get famous and all that shit. I always, like, I used to always think, or try to think, even in the most unpromising of circumstances, like, you don't know who could be there, you don't know who could be watching, and like, that's these like sort of circumstances that we've chatted about are quite, maybe like a bit more acute in terms of, like, challenging situations. Something that you would be more used to, and that we all will experience a lot doing this, is, you can do wedding gigs or corporate gigs, like, maybe might be more common than that kind of, like, it's like nobody wants to actually be there. You can still be faced with that, and our take on it is we're we're working there. You know, we've been paid
We
to
are
be there and do our
here
thing.
to play.
So you just play all the same.
That Kilburn wedding was fantastic.
That
was a great wedding.
Yeah, it turned out great. I mean, the vast majority of the gigs we do, like, you know, it's you really don't have to try too hard to get people involved or whatever. And saying that though, very recently, we at a Scottish Ayrshire Air wedding venue that we performed at. There was a point in the night. I mean, this may sound a bit far fetched, but I was almost on the point of going up to like people's rooms and dragging them out their beds to come down and do a
This is for the Cayley.
Arcady and Strip the Willow.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. You put on your radio mic and left the room to go hunt people down.
Well, the way I kind of, I mean, we'll always like sort of say like we'll never force people to do anything, but if the couple themselves
Have asked for it.
yeah, if they've said that they want us to do Cayley, and like we think it's always a great chance to get, you know, you're gonna get people sitting at their tables that don't like jumping about to pop songs and whatever. I think of which we would probably be two people like that. But Cayley dancing is brilliant for just getting everyone up and on the same level. So, like, yeah, we won't absolutely force people to do it. We won't go around, you know, shaming people like to their faces. But at that, because there's like so few people in the room at that point, I was like, well, everyone. I was thinking, well, where the fuck is everyone? So, went out into the kind of
lobby,
foyer, whatever, like bit where there's another bar. I found a few people out there, but like I was like on the point of like.
Well, while you were out there, I was still on stage, faced with silence, trying to kind of fill it. And I kind of said, I didn't want to go down the guilt route, but they have asked for this dance and they have provided this party for you. So it'd be great if some of you could come up and perform Strip the Willow. And the mad thing is, when you returned, and some point after that, it did actually fill up.
Oh, yeah.
We had a full...
Oh, no, I mean, again, like with all the other situations we talked about, yeah, like, 10 minutes later, like, it was brilliant, as per usual. But
I don't think that had anything to do with us.
No, I wouldn't say so. Well, I wouldn't. Yeah. So sort of like, well, what I wonder about, you know, we don't go to other weddings to see how shit goes down, but like we definitely could have just given up.
We could have.
It would have been very easy to just given up
and move on.
Have given up, and yeah, put it this way: it's between what happened in that foyer is between me, the people in that foyer, and Police Scotland. So you don't need to know. The listeners or listener,
we can all rest.
Doesn't need to know.
Rest at ease knowing those details.
Yeah,
or not knowing them, as the case may be.
Yeah. But okay, just another year went by. Really, what's your kind of aspirations for 2026?
Oh, just make it to 2027. You know, cross the finish line again. That'd be good.
Satisfy the masses.
Aye,
your usual style. Yeah, I think we should. This has all been very nice. Maybe I think we've done 4 or 5 of these. But do you think we should go like a bit more rogue
next time?
Put it behind some kind of what is it? A brick wall, firewall, a paywall.
Paywall? Nah.
No. Okay. Well, no. I'm not an expert.
Wholeheartedly disagree with that.
Not an expert in these
principle.
things. So we will. Well, look, I think we might. I mean, once everybody hears this with the new equipment, they'll be just begging for more. So maybe before we get mega busy again, we can come back and do another one.
Or in the heat of it all, where we're close, we're still sweating from the previous gig.